Our top story this hour, viewers, even as we are seeing a massive admission by Iran where they have stated that it was a human error that caused the Ukrainian plane crash. And in fact, they were the ones who shot down the plane through a missile. Now a reaction coming in from across the world and specifically from Russia, who have slammed Iran for stating and admitting that Ukrainian jet was in fact unintentionally shot by the Iranian armed forces. And now Russia has said that Tehran must now learn their lessons. This is the first major reaction coming in on Iran after they admitted that the Ukrainian jet was in fact unintentionally shot down. Joining us over the phone line is my colleague Abhishek Kapoor. Abhishek, so clearly now this is one big reaction coming in where Russia has slammed Iran after it admitted that the Ukrainian jet was in fact unintentionally shot down by the Iranian armed forces.
Well, naturally so, Richa, and everyone would, be very unhappy and angry at what Iran has done, howsoever inadvertent and mistaken the case might be. It's about a tragic loss of over 160 lives. And remember, a majority of them, or more than half of them, Iranians, followed by Canadians and Swedes, and rest of the other nationalities, about half a dozen all. What is important is that Iranians, A, have admitted that they made a mistake, B, they have apologized, C, they have suggested they will carry out some kind of investigation. They should now follow it up perhaps with the cooperation with international law in terms of whether, if and when the other nations involved, they take legal recourse, Iran should be cooperating and supporting them. There is a bad precedent the Iranians have in terms of Americans not apologizing for the 1988 downing of their Iran Air plane. But what is important is that in the changed times, and given the backdrop of whatever has happened in the last 1 week, this provides an opportunity for Iran to really show the world that they are not a nation that has compromised with international law in any manner, and that is something that perhaps the global community would expect from Iran now.
That's right. In fact, Abhishek, even as we speak, we are expecting more international reactions also coming in. And now Russia making its first statement clearly slamming Iran. Do you think that Iran might, in fact, in a way, tone down its entire tonality in the on and off face-off that is currently underway between the US and Iran? Do you think that they will try to calm themselves down or try to back down after their big admission?
Well, Richa, de-escalation had effectively happened. In fact, the first reaction that had come from the Iranians after their missile strike clearly showed that they do not intend to take it further when their Foreign Affairs Minister, Javad Zarif, tweeted that they have taken a concluding action, which from their side at least suggested that they don't want to take it further if Americans don't respond. But what is important is that given the scale of emotions that we saw when General Qasem Soleimani was eliminated by the Americans, there would obviously be certain elements, if not within the state in Iran, but then outside, particularly the forces that were really cultivated by General Soleimani for example, in Syria and Lebanon, that could still elements who would be inimical to the idea of things settling down. So perhaps the Iranian leadership would want to restrain them. But what is important is, so far as this unfortunate tragedy is concerned, at least an admission and regrets have come, an apology has come. It should be followed up in a manner that everyone is assured that Iran is there to cooperate with international law. Not only that they truly regret what has happened.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, Abhishek Kapoor, our executive editor, for giving us that perspective on this entire matter, even as we are seeing Russia's first reaction coming in on the admission by Iran. In fact, viewers, let's listen in to what President Trump, US President Trump, had stated even before the Iranian admission. He had stated that, in fact, he suspected that a missile had hit the Ukrainian jet that led to the crash. Let's listen to what he had said.
President, the plane that went down from Iran, what do you think happened to that plane?
Well, I have my suspicions. It was very, I don't want to say that because other people have those suspicions also. It's a tragic thing. When I see that, it's a tragic thing. But somebody could have made a mistake on the other side. Could have made a mistake. It was flying. It was flying in not our system. No, it has nothing to do with us. It was flying in a pretty rough neighborhood, and somebody could have made a mistake. Some people say it was mechanical. I personally don't think that's even a question, personally. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to get. That's up to them. At some point, they'll release the black box. Ideally, they'd get it to Boeing, but if they gave it to France or if they gave it to some other country, that would be okay too. I think, ideally that will be released. I have a feeling that it's just something very terrible happened. Very devastating.
In fact, viewers, it was not just President Donald Trump who had suspected this to happen. Even Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had said that he suspected a missile hit the Ukrainian jet and that Canada won't stop until he gets the answers. In fact, the British Foreign Secretary had also backed Canada's claim. Let's listen in.
In weeks, our government will continue to work closely with its partners to ensure that this crash is thoroughly investigated. Canadians have questions, and they deserve answers. Minister Champagne will be speaking with the Iranian foreign minister and conveying the need for a thorough investigation into this fatal crash. To the families grieving, know that the Government of Canada and all Canadians are grieving with you.
We agree with the Canadian assessment that indicates that Ukrainian International Airlines flight was shot down by an Iranian surface-to-air missile, and as François Philippe said, it may well have been unintentional. Our view on the crash underlines why we urgently now need an independent, full and transparent investigation to establish what caused it. The Iranian regime must open up to the international community, including access to the crash site, so we can get the truth as quickly as possible to give the families of the victims an understanding of what happened to their loved ones.